welcome. We're doing a little Twin Peaks spin-off podcast here from the Don't Spoil the Ending podcast. I'm here today. My name's John.
I'm Nick.
And yeah, so we're just doing a podcast now. It's going to be a bit more rough than usual. A bit more...
going to be unedited, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit more on the fly. The main reason is the show aired on Monday morning, like 2 in the morning. Is that right? The new series. We thought we'd try and get an episode up as soon as possible. So yeah, we're doing it on the fly. We don't really know what we're doing because Joe's the technical expert. So
so it's probably going to be not sound as good.
Yeah, not sound as good, not flow as well as usual.
We've not got Joe to blame for this one either, have we?
We'll still find a way. We'll find a way to blame him. But so yeah, we're just here to talk about the new series of Twin Peaks, Series 3.
Series 3. I mean, is it Series 3? Because when I've looked on like Internet Movie Database, it's classed as its own separate show.
Yeah, David Lynch is very adamant of explaining that this is one 18-hour film. It's not actually.
Really?
Yeah. If you ask him, he'll tell you it's an 18-hour film. Very much its own thing, and it's not really. I mean, that can explain what we've just watched. To be honest with you, some of it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so it's its own thing, more of a film feel to it than a flowing TV show.
I thought that. Like, I felt it had a proper feel of a film rather than a TV show.
Yeah, and I definitely felt that it was more to do with Twin Peaks Firewalk with Me, the movie, than anything to do with the TV show. Yeah. Other than the very loose Agent Cooper plot, the rest of it felt very much like the film to me.
Like I think we spoke about this, the ring, that wasn't in the series.
Yeah, the ring wasn't in the show.
In the cornmeal.
The cream corn. They're always eating and spewing up.
That was only in the film.
I think it was in the show a few bits, but literally, do you remember the grandma and the grandson? She was having cream corn delivered quite a lot, which is a bit weird. Okay. So it was on the show as well, but it's mainly from the film. And there's a few other bits and bobs in there, like David Bower's character from the film is mentioned in this episode.
Oh, is he actually?
So I was hoping to catch.
I didn't catch that one.
See if you caught that one, and I'll ask you about that one. So he's name checked. Yes, there's a few bits and bobs like that. Just to mention as well, we just did an episode of Don't Spoil the Ending, where we've gone into Twin Peaks in detail, specifically the movie Twin Peaks Firewalk with Me.
If this goes to plan, then this will be out the day after. So this will be out on the Wednesday. That should go out the day before.
Yeah, the day before. Tuesday. Yeah, so it's all Twin Peaks all the time at the moment.
But we are hoping to do this once a week for the next.
The next 18 weeks.
Is it 18 weeks though? Because we've got the first 2 episodes in one.
Yeah.
And then we've got.
And they've also dropped 3 and 4 at the same time.
But we will be doing them on separate.
We'll be doing those in the weeks. Yeah.
What about the finale? Is that going to be 2?
I think together? The finale will be 2 together as well.
So we'll be doing it for 15 weeks.
Yeah.
16 weeks. Sorry.
Yeah. So technically, yeah. And just to mention as well, I've actually watched all 4 episodes so far. Excuse me, Nick. I believe you watched 3.
I've watched the first 3.
Just to let any listeners know. We're only going to talk about the first 2 tonight.
The first 2, yeah.
I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm not going to reference anything at all in part 3 or 4.
That's why I'm basically going to leave it to you, because you've got a kind of plot.
Yeah, got a very loose outline
of through, haven't you? I'm going to leave it to you, and I'm just going to drop in when you say, because I might get confused and try and talk about episode 3. So
that's cool. Well, if you don't mind, and if you do mention anything, and I remember it's from episode 3, I'll try and rein you back a bit. Maybe you okay with that?
That's fine by me. Yeah.
Same with me. Anything I mentioned from episode 3, you try and cut me off.
That's fine. Yeah.
Don't want to spoil anything for anyone who's not watched the future episode yet.
Although, for people listening, we probably will be spoiling the first 2 episodes.
Definitely. We're going to go into detail with the first 2 episodes. So unless you've watched those, go away, watch them, come back and tune in. So
go away.
Go away. And come back when you're ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to let you know, we're going to try and do a very brief overview of the whole episode. We're not going to go plot point by plot point because it jumps around all over the place in true Twin Peaks fashion.
So what we are planning on doing is doing the bits in Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Doing the bits in Vegas.
In the Black Lodge in Vegas. Yeah, there's a bit of Vegas in this one. Go from location to location and wrap up the plot that way. So are you okay with that? Yeah,
I'm perfectly fine with that. Yeah.
Okay, you might hear a bit of paper rustling as well. I've got a few notes here, so... Okay, so should we just jump into it? Twin Peaks, episode 1 and 2. Was it called The Return, you mentioned?
No, that was episode 3.
I'm jumping ahead already.
Did we look it up before, what the episode was called?
I meant to, but I'll be honest, I didn't.
I mean...
We'll have a quick look.
I mean, if you want to start...
Yeah, I'll lead into it. You find that info for me. Okay, so I'm going to begin in Twin Peaks. Seems like the logical place to start. Pick up with the characters in Twin Peaks. So the very first shot we have, including the characters from Twin Peaks, is a shot of like a trailer in the woods, I believe it is, and it's Dr. Jacoby.
Oh, the one with the red and blue glasses, yeah.
That's the main way you know who he is, really. He comes out the trailer, this old guy, takes his shades off, and he's got red and blue lenses under the shades. So straight away you know that's Dr. Jacoby. He's having a delivery sent to him. Well, delivered. A delivery delivered. A delivery of spades, which is a bit weird.
I did. I thought that was really quite weird.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're led to believe he was going to be digging something up or burying something in the woods. The last time we caught up with him, he was a doctor. Now he looks like a hermit almost. So yeah, that was a bit of a strange one. Have you got anything to go into on that at all, or...?
No, like for me though, because obviously I'd watched the series I'd finished it just the weekend before, so like I finished it on the Sunday, started it on the Monday, and I just loved seeing like a character I knew straight away. It was good seeing a familiar face. Like, I'm back, kind of thing.
He wasn't in the film at all, Dr. Jacoby. I think he might have been in the deleted scenes maybe, but he wasn't in the film. So yeah, we're straight back in with an old TV character.
I'll just drop in with the episode name. It actually is called The Return. Return Part 1, and then we've got Return Part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8.
Right.
So they are all called The Return.
So we've got the next 8 episode names lined up. Right, okay. So, after meeting Dr. Jacoby in the woods, we then go to the Great Northern Hotel, run still by Benjamin Horne.
Yeah. I didn't recognise him at first.
Looks a lot older now, doesn't he? Richard Bamer. Yeah.
I didn't recognise him at first, but then his brother came out as well, didn't he?
I definitely didn't recognise him.
I didn't recognise him. He's now like a weed grower. He's growing weed, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gone from the hotel business to growing weed. Did he mention it was like a legal thing in that?
He said it's
in the northwest. They can legally grow it over there now.
Where is it? Colorado.
It's the northwest. It's basically Seattle, Washington State, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did state it that it was legal there. I remember him stating I think his sorry, what's his name again? His brother.
It was Ben and Jerry.
Ben and Jerry. I forget his name. Ben is the not weed grower.
He's the hotel dude. Yeah.
He said to him, "He's like, you need to get a life kind of thing."
Yeah.
And he went, "I'm bringing most of your revenue in here."
He's there with his banana bread.
Banana bread infused with weed. That was amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Another example of Lynch's humour. A little bit at the end when it just ends on Ben saying, "Is that Mum's hat?"
Yeah.
He's got some daft woolly hat on his way. Yeah, I thought that was quite good. Just another daft little scene, really. But it then jumps from that to the police station. The next Twin Peaks scene.
That where we first see Lucy.
Lucy still working at on the reception.
25 years on.
She doesn't look much different, to be honest.
To be fair, she doesn't, does she?
Yeah, she's one of the ones who's aged better than other people.
Yeah, she really has.
Yeah, and there's an insurance guy trying to...
The insurance guy comes in asking for
Sheriff Truman.
Sheriff Truman.
She asks which one.
Yeah, that's the first time we actually know about another Sheriff Truman, isn't it?
Yeah, there's always ever only been Harry Truman, who was the sheriff.
Now there's
I don't know his name actually. I mean, it's not in
Frank.
Could be. He's his brother and his older brother.
Before watching the series, I actually watched an interview with a new cast member. It was on like the red carpet kind of deal thing, and they were interviewing a few people. And there's this one guy, and it was I think it was him, because apparently he was supposed to be in the show for the second season, but I think he was tied down to a pilot, which didn't get anywhere, but he was tied down to that.
So he couldn't appear in Twin Peaks.
Unfortunately.
And David Lynch does seem to like Robert Forster.
That's it from Foster, isn't it?
Yeah, he was in Mulholland Drive for literally one scene, but he just wanted him in there. He's actually credited and Robert Forster in Mulholland Drive, but he's in it for one scene, you know.
That's amazing.
But yeah, he's a great actor. He was great in Kill Bill. Jackie Brown, sorry.
Oh, Jackie Brown.
He was one of the main, Max Cherry in that. He's really good in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Robert Forster. The insurance salesman gets really confused talking to Lucy. She's like, which one do you want? One's out fishing and one's sick.
How is it she says? Like it can make a difference. Like which one do you want? It can make a difference because one's fishing, one's sick.
So I don't really get what the insurance man's point is, other than like a daft little bit of Lynchian humour maybe, but he seems to get annoyed and leaves. Other than just to tell you that one of them's sick and one of them's fishing.
I feel that's the only reason for that, to be honest, just to give us that little bit of information.
Yeah. And from there then we meet Deputy Hawk, another old member from a Native American cast member.
I mean, he doesn't look like that bad. Like his hair's obviously gone grey.
Yeah, he's got the white hair and
white, yeah. But he doesn't look as bad.
Yeah, other than that, it's great to see him again into all these bit of a nostalgic feel to it kind of thing. Yes, he comes in and he gets a call from the log lady.
Oh, yeah.
Which I actually found this quite a bit emotional, to be honest.
It did get me out because obviously, like, she died 2 years ago now.
Yeah, 2015 when he looked at it before. Yeah,
2015, and so like they've obviously recorded that, and in the scene you can see she's very weathered. Like she's got like the little pipe going into her nose.
Yeah, like the breathing apparatus.
Her hair's
and
like all
the hair.
falling
Yeah, I think she had cancer maybe.
I mean, I like to believe that it was her final act in life to record this for David Lynch.
I wouldn't be surprised, like you mentioned before, that maybe she recorded this before they even got to work on the rest of the show.
Well, makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Lynch wanted her in there that badly just for this one scene, to do that. Because
I can only imagine that it's been milling around for quite a few years now. This idea of it, and they're probably thinking like, right, we want to do one, but we want it in 2017 when it's 25 years after the film.
Yeah, it just makes sense for the whole
so like they could have been thinking about this for so long. Like they could have been thinking about it since 1992, for all we know. It proper got me. Seeing the log lady, she was.
Yeah, it was good to see her back. She told Hawk she gave him some vital information here, didn't she? She told him that something is missing, and to look into your involving Agent Dale Cooper, and to look into your heritage.
First clue into what potentially could be going on.
Yeah. So Hawk knows now that something is missing. We know it's Dale Cooper.
Yeah.
It's still in the Black Lodge.
Is that what it is?
Well, that's why I took it. Because as far as they know, the Cooper who's been running around killing people is the real Cooper. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the way I took it. Because
I'm pretty sure they didn't know that he where he was. They don't even know he's going around killing people.
I mean, going on from that, Deputy Hawk has a conversation with Andy and Lucy.
Yeah.
And they get all the old case files out and everything.
Is that this?
Yeah, it's definitely this one. They get all the case files out, and I've totally gone off your point there.
They get all the case files out, and he says like there's something missing.
So that's right. You got me back on it there. It's to do with Andy and Lucy mention that as soon as he came around after getting Annie out of the Black Lodge, he just left, and they never had a Christmas card from him, and they had left before Wally was born, their child.
Yeah, which they said was over 24 years ago, because he's 24 now, I think he said.
So that shows that like evil or dark Cooper, whatever you want to call him, came out of the lodge and just left straight away because it was Bob basically controlling him. Yeah, and good Cooper's stuck in the Black Lodge. So so Hawk's on the case. He's looking into Dale Cooper.
Does he know he's looking into Dale Cooper?
No,
I don't think the log lady specified that it was Dale that was missing.
Yeah, she doesn't mention that. He goes out looking one night in the woods, and he gets another call from the log lady, and she gives him a bit more information and tells him to drop by for some pie and coffee, which I quite liked.
Like little drop of the coffee and pie.
Yeah,
a regular occurrence in Twin Peaks.
A nice little touch, and I believe that's her last contribution to the show. I don't think there'll be any more after that. So
it's a shame.
Yeah. So I loved all just going back to the meeting in the police boardroom, Andy mentions that Wally was born the same day as Marlon Brando, his son Wally. Just a daft little thing he throws out there, born the same day as Marlon Brando.
That's just something about Andy, you know. I found he got a bit dumbed down even more.
I thought that as soon as he starts talking, it's like, oh, you know, I'm back being Andy again. It was a bit.
I felt like he was even like, do you know, back in season 1 and 2? I keep calling it that, but like back in the 90s series, he wasn't as stupid as I think he seems now. Like in the night, like he seemed obviously a bit ditzy, but like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he knew how to write his own name, kind of thing.
Yeah,
nowadays,
he doesn't look like.
Nowadays, he might have trouble. Yeah, I mean, it must be hard, I suppose, picking up a character like that 25 years later.
See, I always think that.
Yeah.
What was the process that he went through to like get back into it 25 years after they left it?
I mean, not to completely jump off topic, but you mentioned you watched Trainspotting 2 the other day, and Ewan McGregor.
I said to someone at work, like, when after I watched it, I said I want to know how they got back into that, because like.
I've got to admit, my only issue with that film is that I think Ewan McGregor doesn't do a great job of getting back into the Renton character. Sometimes when I'm watching him, it just feels like Ewan McGregor, you know what I mean, as opposed to Renton. Not that he's bad in the film or anything.
Yeah.
It just must be really hard getting back into that mindset. So I think the longer we go on, I think some of these characters will have issue, you know, getting back into a 25-year-old character. But yeah, it's still funny seeing Andy in there. You know, still funny. Yeah. Just another couple of things that happened in Twin Peaks. Before we move on, we went to Laura Palmer's mother, Sarah, watching TV.
I did see that. Yeah, was she watching the lions attack the bison?
Yeah, I think so. And that was all it was, pretty much, just her watching TV for like a minute.
She didn't say anything. She was just watching that. It got quite brutal.
Watching like they were crushing the head of the bison and stuff, weren't they? And she was proper into it by the look of it. Yeah,
the cries of the bison.
Yeah,
it was quite.
I don't know whether Lynch is just trying to show us that, you know, her life after Laura and Leland both died. She's had no life kind of thing. She's just been, you know, locked in the house
watching
kind of
documentaries.
Thing. Watching TV, pretty much, yeah. And one final thing in Twin Peaks, we go to the bar. Is it called the Bang Bang Bar or something?
I think it is called the Bang Bang Bar.
Is that right? Yeah.
I assume so, because it says the bar, and then it says Bang Bang.
Yeah. I hope that's what I've just made that up. So
no, I think
that's right. I think
it's the Bang Bang Bar.
Yeah, we cut to there, and this is actually the end of the episode. We catch up with a few old members in there as well.
We've got Jimmy.
Which one's that? Sorry.
James.
Oh, sorry, James. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we meet James. Lost a bit of hair, but it was 25 years in, so you know.
I noticed him straight away.
I could tell it was him. So I mean, he's one of the cast again who's aged quite well, I think.
And then in that scene, there was the 4 women, wasn't there? I personally, I couldn't recognise. I thought like maybe one of these must be like either Shelley, Audrey, or one of them, but I couldn't.
I was thinking that. I mean, the one I recognised was Shelley, who was the one who was mainly involved. Madjanamic, she was
the one sat at the back on the right.
That's the one, yeah. She mentioned her daughter was going out with a guy she doesn't like. That's Shelley, but I was wondering if the other 3 were anybody, but I couldn't work it out.
Like the one in front of Shelley.
On the left, yeah.
The one in front of Shelley. James was looking at. Was he looking at Shelley?
So he's looking to the one to the left of Shelley, but she looked quite young, I thought. And
do you reckon?
They were saying, "Oh, James likes you," but I was thinking, seems a bit weird.
And he said he doesn't talk anymore after his motorbike accident, didn't he?
Yeah, and they were saying like, we had the accident, and Shelley's like, "Yeah, but you're still cool though." So
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if the other girls were meant to know who they are, but I've got no idea about new cast members' names or anything at the moment. You know, don't know who they're playing.
I think it's been kept pretty much under wraps.
Yeah.
Like if you go on like the IMDb, it shows that James is only in one episode now, which I'm assuming is not true, and it'll show you actors, but it won't tell you who they are.
Right. Yeah.
On there as well, so like it's been kept pretty under wraps, I think.
Yeah, and a big one with that, Laura Dern, who's a big like Lynch girl. She's playing someone who's quite important apparently, but they've not revealed yet who it is. So that's something to look out for. So one other person in the bar, Shelley looks over at one point to a guy stood at the bar who gives her like a thumbs up or something. I'm assuming that's a boyfriend. I can't think of the actor's name now, but he was in Lost Highway, another Lynch film. So he's grabbed another one of his old actors in. But that's where we finish in Twin Peaks. That's the final thing. It goes to the chromatics are playing on the stage, I believe.
Just before we go away from this, I'm just milling over in my head. So if it weren't Bobby, so we can assume at this point she's split up with Bobby then, Shelley.
Oh, she was with Leo. Was she? Oh, Leo and Bobby.
Well, if you remember, she wasn't with Leo anymore because he went brain dead.
Yeah. Oh God, I forgot all about that.
Leo went brain dead. They were kind of looking after him.
Yeah.
He tried to kill her. This is in the original. I'm not
spoiling
anything for the new series. This is 20 years ago. He tried to kill her. Basically, we didn't see Leo again after that. It was just Bobby and Shelley together.
Yeah.
Well, we did see Leo, but not with Shelley. So
it was
just
with Wyndham Earl once he all part of that plot.
It was. But so Bobby and Shelley were together still. So if she's pointing at someone or thumbs up to a person, I'm guessing it's not Bobby.
Or maybe I'm speculating here. Maybe she had a child with Bobby and she's left him and that's the new boyfriend or something. We've got no.
Did he look old? This guy.
Oldish, same age as Bobby, I'd imagine.
Okay.
Mid-40s maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll find out at some point. We'll get back to that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the end of the Twin Peaks section. So you okay to move on?
Move on, yeah.
Right, okay. I'll look on the list here. I'll be honest, the South Dakota stuff is quite in depth. So I'll jump to the Black Lodge if that's okay with you.
That's fine, man. I'm quite interested to get into the Black Lodge because there's some amazing scenes.
There is. And there's a lot of stuff coming in episode 3 that we won't go into. We'll just mention the stuff in the first 2 episodes here. So we'll start off at the very start of the episode. Coop is talking to the giant back in at the end of series 1. They have a bit of a weird, cryptic conversation back and forth. Remember, it's black and white as well, which is weird because none of the other the other episodes are in black and white.
Do you know what? Did you remember?
I'll be honest, I've not actually got notes of what they said to each other.
Okay.
The main thrust of it was he told Coop to look out for somebody called Richard and Diane maybe or something.
Oh no, he did. Yeah, sorry, it was like Linda and I can't remember the name.
He gave them a couple of names.
And he said
432 or something. He gave them a number as well.
3 numbers, wasn't there?
Yeah. I wonder if the numbers play into it. We can't go into that. That's episode 3. Sorry, ignore that.
We can't go into anymore. But I wonder if because I think it might be 430 or something.
Yeah, something like
that. But yeah, I do recall this conversation.
Yeah, so I think that'll play into it. But he also mentioned that someone's here with us, and they can hear what we say, something like that. And they both look at the gramophone, and they can hear electrical noises coming from it. Did he catch that a weird noise?
I don't know.
Yeah, and that's where that scene ended.
All right.
Which again, I think that's going to play into future episodes kind of thing. And then we go from there to Cooper's back in the Black Lodge, then as we know it, with the red curtains, the chevron floor.
Is that the next scene? Was that the next scene along, or was that
in the Black Lodge? Sorry, it jumps then back into the Twin Peaks.
Oh, is that what it was? And then this is after.
Yeah, when we go back to the Black Lodge again, Cooper's then in the red room with the one-armed man.
Yeah.
And we have a bit of cryptic conversation back and forth. I feel like we've heard these conversations before in the old series.
Yeah.
Like it's been repeated. As if Cooper's been stuck there for 25 years, having the same conversations over and over, some kind of nightmare kind of thing. And the one-armed man, Michael Gerard, is it? I think he's called.
Okay.
And he's asking him, "Is this the future or is this the past?" In that weird way they have of doing it, is this the future or is this the past?
Is this the future or is this the past?
That's pretty good. And we kind of jump around a bit then. We jump from the one-armed man to Laura Palmer turns up. And again, they have a similar conversation to what they've already had back in series 2 or 1, I think it was.
Yeah.
When he's asking her, "Are you Laura Palmer?" And she's like, "I'm not dead, I'm alive," all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I will say about Laura Palmer, I weren't too keen on her reverse talking. I don't know if that was done on purpose, but I think 25 years on, she's lost it.
She's lost the knack of it.
She's lost the knack for. I mean, she wasn't great in the film, but I think she's lost it all.
Yeah, I agree. The one-armed man's still quite good at the back.
Yeah, he's quite good at it.
Yeah, and that's a bit quite strange as well. She comes over and kisses Cooper, flies up in the sky and just like disappears, screaming. I've no idea what that means.
I did love how the special effects, like they've made no attempt to make them look like any better.
Yeah.
Which I love, by the way.
I do. It's definitely a Lynch thing.
Yeah.
Technically, he doesn't care. He's just thinking, I'm trying to get a feeling here, kind of thing. I don't care whether it looks technically bad.
He's keeping the same feeling as before, though, isn't it? Like, and I love that.
She just shakes about a bit and just flies off screen.
Yeah.
which was mad. We see the one-armed man again. And then after that, we meet the evolution of the arm.
Yeah, do meet this was weird.
How do we explain the evolution of the arm?
Well, that's a tree essentially.
A tree.
It was essentially a tree with a little brain at the top.
A tree with a talking brain on top of it. Yeah.
It had like a little moving mouth, didn't it, in the brain? Yeah, that was like. Am I to assume that this was the man from another place, but like an evolved version?
That's exactly how I'm taking it. He's evolved now into a tree a tree with a brain on it.
Yeah, because I mean, was it the film? No, I don't think it was. Or was it? I think it was the film actually. I'm gonna keep thinking of this. I'm just gonna go with it anyway.
Yeah.
I remember at one point he said to Cooper, "The next time you see me, I won't look like this."
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about that.
So I'm assuming that's what he meant. I'm going to be a tree.
I'm going to go back and watch it again. Oh,
was that in the series? That then?
I definitely remember that. I don't know what from though.
Yeah, so
I definitely remember that.
I remember. I specifically remember him saying that. So I'm assuming this is what he meant. He meant.
Oh, I've got to go back and watch that again now. Yeah, I think you're spot on. He's evolved into
a
something
tree.
else. Yeah.
Into the arm. Well, he is the arm. He was always the arm, wasn't he?
And he goes like this. Which he does again, but it's more like a kind of like a noise now.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
When I get home tonight, I'll definitely check out that, because I think you're spot on with that.
Yeah, like that's all I could think when I seen it. I was like, well, he did tell us in either the series or the film. I cannot remember which one, because I watched them in such like so close together.
Yeah.
I cannot remember which one it was. So, I know in one of them he did say this, like, I won't look the same next time you see me. I won't look like this anymore. That's
a great point. I'm going to look into that, and we'll mention that on the pod next week, exactly where that comes from.
Okay.
He then goes on to tell him that he has a doppelganger. Remember the doppelganger, who at the end of series 2 is Bob. We have a flashback to the scene where him and Bob are laughing like
hysterical.
Yeah. He has like white eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
We then go from the tree. He then meets Leland Palmer again. Leland's just sat there, hasn't got the white hair anymore. He's back to normal Leland. And he tells him to find Laura. Whether this is going to be a big point of the show, I don't know. Whether Laura, when she flew off screen, has gone somewhere else, and Cooper now has to find her, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if it'd be... No, I won't go into like the cast list on IMDb.
Okay, yeah.
I'll leave that, because I don't want to spoil future episodes for anyone else. Like.
No problem. I mean, we can mention some stuff at the end, stuff like that if you want. We'll make it aware, if you don't want to know anything. Tune out there kind of thing. So
that's fair enough.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, after that, again, Coop then starts like walking through the corridors behind the curtains, and the tree shows him Bob in a car driving to like Las Vegas. I think he's just driving down a highway. He's stood in the Black Lodge looking down.
Down the highway, he is, isn't he?
Like Evil Dale or Bob, whatever you want to call him, is in the car driving, and the tree and the whole Black Lodge just have like a bit of a hissy fit. Starts going mental. The floor's all breaking apart and stuff.
And he falls then, doesn't he?
Yeah, he just falls down and goes on a weird kind of 2001 Space Odyssey journey.
I feel like that's the last time we see Cooper in that episode.
Right, well there's a bit coming up here, but let me just check that. We'll leave that for... Yeah, there's a bit coming up after he falls that we'll go back into in another section.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, that'll be the final section. Save the best till last.
That's not fine by me, yeah.
Okay, so then going from we've been to Twin Peaks, we've been to the Black Lodge, we've got quite a bit of stuff here in South Dakota to get through. You okay if we just go through this? We won't spend too long.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
Try and get through it. Sorry, before South Dakota, we have one very quick scene in Las Vegas that we go to. How this ties in with anything, I don't know.
Okay.
We meet like a casino boss or something. in like a very lavish kind of casino office, and he's paying like a kind of like busboy or something, just a young like intern or whatever, paying him money and telling him, you know, never deal with evil people, you know, because it'll get you in trouble, kind of thing.
Okay.
We've got theories as to what that's in relation to. I think he's basically put a hit out on someone by the look of it. Again, who or what, I've got no idea. Do you know the bit I mean?
I'm struggling to remember.
A guy with black hair sat behind a desk, pulls out his drawer like a wad of money or something, and gives it to this young guy who comes in.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And explaining to him, you know, the people I deal with are, you know, are evil men, like, never get yourself into this situation, kind of thing.
Okay.
So he's paying him for like a hit or something almost, but we've got no idea at this point what that's in relation to.
We'll find out future episodes.
Yeah. And that's all we get in Las Vegas for this one. So we then go to Buckhorn in South Dakota.
Buckhorn, yes.
Yeah. We start off with a bit of Lynch comedy again. It's quite a rambling scene where a woman's come back to her apartment with a dog. The dog's running around everywhere and it sniffs something under a doorway. And eventually, after a lot of faffing about, this woman takes the dog back in, comes back out, goes into the hotel room and finds like she calls the police.
She does call the
because
police.
She can smell something.
Yeah.
The police come out and eventually we get around to going into the hotel room.
Well,
the apartment. Sorry.
Well, like I think this, like, I loved it because this woman, she's called him out and she's like, the manager will have the key. Oh, but he's not here. The manager's brother will have the key. Oh, but you'll have to speak to the groundskeeper kind of thing. And then after all that, she's like, you don't think she's gone on holiday, do you? I've got a key to get in the thing, so I need to water the plants. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, it's typical like humour, that.
All that running around.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I literally spent 10 minutes just for that one little punchline.
I thought that was absolutely amazing. Loved it.
I loved that. And again, this is typical like David Lynch. He goes from that goofy, funny scene, from all of that build up to it, to then showing you a decapitated head in a bed.
I don't think it's shown you that at this point because it had the covers up to it.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. They go in and there's a head in the bed with a gunshot wound through from the back.
Yeah.
At this point, we've got no idea what that's in relation to.
It literally looks like a head, like with the covers up to the neck, and with like a bullet wound, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then, so we've gone from this really goofy comedy scene to then finding this awful, like, dead body reveal.
Yeah.
The police then, the forensics get called in, and they then discover, once they pull the quilt back, it's the body of a man with this woman's decapitated head laid on the pillow.
And like all the body fluids have been like seeping. It's been there for a while.
Yeah.
It looks like because all the body fluids been seeping through into.
And they could smell the body and everything, couldn't they? So yeah, it's not a pleasant crime scene. I don't suppose there are many pleasant crime scenes, are there?
I can't imagine there'd be many pleasant murder scenes at the very least.
So the police get called in, and we then cut from that to Shaggy from Scooby-Doo getting arrested for the murder.
Well, yeah, because his fingerprints were found all over the room.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard, who's been in like Scream and stuff. He was Shaggy in Scooby-Doo.
Shaggy in Scooby-Doo, yeah.
A lot of genre stuff. The police turn up. He's also the principal of the local high school. Did he catch that?
Yeah, did. They
mentioned that a couple of times.
Because when the police, I don't know what she was, receptionist, I don't know what she was. She was calling someone in. She went, look what I found. Found all these fingerprints everywhere. Like there's no fingerprints on the body, I think she said.
Yeah.
But there's fingerprints all over the apartment. And then she went, he's the principal. He's my son's principal or my daughter's principal.
Yeah. So they then turn up to arrest him. He goes, being kept in a cell. It's quite a convoluted bit, this, because like, as he mentioned, fingerprints are all over the place. His wife comes to visit him in the jail cell. And what does he tell him? She tells me, no, you definitely did it. Your fingerprints were everywhere.
Well, I think she doesn't even say that. She just goes like, I've known. I've known. I think she doesn't say anything. He says, like, I didn't do it. I promise you. Like, it was a dream. I was there in a dream.
This is what I like. You see, he mentions that I dreamt I was there, but I didn't do it. This is just a theory, not a spoiler or anything. I'm wondering if Bob, because we find out Bob's behind all this in a minute. So
yeah.
I'm wondering if Bob can possess bodies. If he's took him over and done the murder to get the fingerprints everywhere, something like that.
That's a very good point.
So that's just a little, just wondering if that happened.
Yeah.
And as you were saying, like she says, I know you're having an affair with the decapitated head woman. and he says, "I know you've been having an affair with George, our lawyer, and with someone else as well."
Someone else, at least one other person. I think.
But the one other person, I think, is Bob. Because she knows him later on when he turns up, so I think the other person.
When you are saying Bob, you mean Evil Dale.
Sorry, Evil. I'll tell you what, Evil Dale from now on. I'll call him Evil Dale.
The only reason I'm saying that is because, like, when you say Bob, I picture the guy with long hair.
No, you're right. Yeah,
I don't picture Evil.
I feel like they're trying to get away from that now. They've made Evil Dale look a bit like Bob with his hair and stuff. Yeah. But Frank Silver, who played him, died in like 1995. Bob, that is.
Yeah.
So I feel like they just wanted to know him as Evil Dale now. You know, forget the Bob getting the side of it. So I think when he's referring to Evil Dale when he says that.
Yeah, that makes
one other person.
I didn't even consider that. That makes sense. Like.
And it's a bit convoluted because she then leaves him in jail. Before she leaves, the camera pans over, and there's a body in the final jail cell. It was painted black or something.
It was like I think they were like crouching, wasn't it? Like on the bed kind of thing. And it was just
looking
all
strange.
Black, all like
completely black.
And it weren't like a black person. It was like painted black.
Painted black. His clothes, his skin, everything.
Yeah, everything was just black. Yeah.
And he then disappeared. And again, another example of great effects. His head floated off in a weird fashion.
Oh yeah, just like amazing.
Yeah. So what that has to do with anything, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe is that like another demon maybe possessing people or something, or the spirit of someone, you know.
Maybe that's to do with the murders. We don't know
could be. Why he could be controlling Shaggy, you know. You never know.
That could have been it could have been anyone.
Yeah. We then cut from that. His wife leaves and runs into George outside, who she's having an affair with, and who is his lawyer.
And she says, "Don't walk me out." No, he knows. Don't walk me out, and I'll see you later, kind of thing. I think she says.
Yeah. So I'd like to have seen how the conversation went between George and Matthew Lillard in there.
Yeah.
He's got to defend him in court now. But we then cut straight from that, I think. The next scene in
her house.
She gets home. Evil Dale is already there waiting for her, I think. And they're clearly friendly.
Yeah, because she obviously knows him. And she says, "Oh, it's done," kind of thing. I think is what she says.
Yeah.
And then he's got a gun in his hand and he goes, "This is George's gun."
George's gun, who she's having the affair with.
And then he just pops the gun.
Shoots her through the back of the face.
Which is identical to the
head that they found earlier, yeah. So Evil Dale's been bumping these people off by the look of it.
Yeah.
So he bumps her off and he leaves. Sorry, I'm going to just jump back a second here because I've gone too far ahead, to be honest with you. I should have mentioned before that Evil Dale, we had a scene of him driving at night down like a wooded lane, and he gets to a trailer, and a really strange scene. He walks, he takes out the guy guarding the door, just beats him down.
Oh God, I forgot about this one. Yeah, this was like quite early on in the.
It was. He goes in, and there's a couple of strange people in the trailer, and he asks for Ray and Darla or Daya.
Yeah, something like that.
And they come out to help him eventually. That was a really weird, odd scene.
It was a really odd one. That like the guy came out with the shotgun, he just pushes him out.
Just literally one blow, just knocks him down.
Sits down, and this woman comes out, and he's obviously friendly with her. He knows her.
Yeah.
And then that happens. They come out, and I think he basically says, "Come with me."
Yeah. So they're now helping him, Ray and Darla or Daya. I got a bit of a True Detective vibe from that scene, to be honest with you. A weird little trailer, you know, like in the middle of nowhere. I could imagine like Russ Cole doing that kind of thing, you know, turning up like that. Yeah, I got a bit of a weird True Detective vibe at that bit.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. So just to jump ahead again now, you know, back to where we were with.
That's fine.
After he killed Phyllis, Matthew Lillard's wife.
Yeah.
So we're going back to that bit, and so we're just going to find what I'm up to here. And after that, Evil Dale. I've got about 4 names for him now. Evil Coop, then.
Evil Dale.
Sorry. Evil Dale then starts bumping off the people he's working with.
Like, one of the first ones I seen was Ray, was it? No.
What was he called?
Jack,
the guy who
mechanic.
The mechanic.
And like it's this proper weird. I think he went on for a good 20 seconds or something, and he's just touching Jack's face. Evil Dale is, and he's just
rubbing his cheeks.
Just rubbing his cheeks.
Yeah.
And then like the next thing you hear about him is
he's dead, which is what I like. He turns up to the motel room. Dahlia is there, but he catches her on the phone, and she's like, "Oh, I was just talking to Jack," and then he lets her know, like, "Oh, that's funny because I killed Jack 2 hours ago." So Dahlia's pretty much for it. The only thing that's weird about this scene is before he kills Dahlia in a pretty nasty fashion, I might add.
Yeah.
Before he kills her, he shows her a picture of a playing card and says, "Does this mean anything to you?" And it has a picture of. We spoke about this in work today. Like a black, you thought it was like an insect or something.
It looked like an insect or something to me. Yeah.
My first thought was a dog, maybe, only because it's like a big black circle with floppy ears. So I thought maybe it could be a dog.
I thought it was like an ant or something with like antennas. Or something. But
so it could be either of them. The only reason I'm thinking dog is they mentioned the black dog runs at night in the prequel film. And I had no idea at the time what that meant. I'm wondering now if they're starting to like make sense of stuff. But
the black dog runs at night. Maybe, yeah.
Maybe something to do with that. So that's another little weird cryptic clue. He then kills Dahlia by punching her a couple of times, and again, gunshot to the head. That's his MO by the look of it.
Yeah.
killing a lot of people that way.
I've seen that as well. Like he put the pillow over her head. And whenever I've seen that in a TV series, they always put the gun to the pillow and then shoot them. This one, he puts the pillow to the head, puts it under the pillow and shoots them. Like,
I thought the pillow was the silencer.
That's what I thought, yeah. But I didn't quite get that, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe Evil Dale just likes mixing up. Just keeps his kills a bit different.
Yeah.
And the only other thing to mention at this bit, which I find really interesting, he then gets on a laptop or a computer and he's looking for someone in a jail cell. I'll be honest with you, I should go back and rewatch this bit because I couldn't work out who it was.
I feel like...
Was that Ray, maybe? Or
yeah, I think there was someone that was supposed to be in prison.
Yeah.
Was it Ray?
It could be. I'll have to rewatch this one again to get the actual name.
Yeah.
These new cast members, I'm useless with the names at the moment. I don't know who's who at the moment. So.
But yeah, he had this like little computer, didn't he? And he logged in with Dale Cooper's credentials.
He did, but did you think that it was weird the way he was like hacking into stuff? It was almost like ghostly the way he was doing stuff. The screen was all fuzzing and stuff.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
As if like he's not actually doing anything with the computer. He's using like ghost powers demon powers to like hack this computer or something. Yeah. I mean, you've got to remember as well, back in like 1991, computers of like modern standards weren't about. So
yeah,
Lynch never had to deal with anything like this, where like they were logging into websites and stuff. It was never a thing before. So
that's a point actually. Like, how has he got Dale Cooper's credentials when he
probably
didn't have any credentials?
That's a good point. Even if he did have the credentials from back then, I'd like to think they've updated the system a couple of times. Yeah. So.
And potentially not allowing access to someone who's been missing for 25 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, well, just let us log in. Just keep it there. Let him log in now and again. Yeah, so unless it's a demonic kind of login, I think Lynch might have a bit of a plot hole there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Might need to look at that for future.
You never know. We might find out later on.
Yeah. And the only other thing to mention at this bit, now he either makes a call or receives a call from someone at this point. And I can't remember which way. I should have took better notes, to be honest, but I can't remember which way around it is. He's on the phone, basically. Yeah. And he says, "Is that Philip Jeffries?" Which is David Bower's character from Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. And he thinks it is at first and starts having a conversation with him. Until the guy on the phone gets quite like...
He's saying, what is he like, oh, Dale's coming back, you're going back to the block logs.
And he tells him, "What did you say to Major Briggs?" Which blew my mind. I was like, "Oh, we're getting into the old, the old stuff now. Like, what did you say to Major Briggs?" And that's when Evil Dale is like, "Hold on, who am I talking to? This isn't Philip Jeffries."
Yeah.
And it all goes a bit pear-shaped from there. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the whole South Dakota bit.
Well, he goes next door after that.
So you're right.
He goes to that woman and he says,
"Yeah."
And he says, "You clean up next door," and she basically says, "Oh, yeah, I didn't like her anyway," kind of thing.
Yeah, and that woman, that's Jennifer Jason Leigh making a cameo. Do you remember the Hateful Eight? The woman they were dragging, the court together. Yeah. That's Jennifer Jason Leigh. She just came in for it. She's been in a few Lynch films, I think, so she came in for a quick scene.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that,
yeah, I thought that was good. So I think we've covered the majority of it now. We've got one big thing to go into, which is the highlight of the show so far for me, which is the glass box.
Oh, the glass box. Yeah.
Which we've kind of skirted over so far.
Yeah.
It came into it quite early, and again, it's a typical kind of David Lynch thing.
I know it's like that. That was really odd. That because like obviously you've got that guy, and I'm not gonna lie, I first of all thought I thought it was James for some reason, but then I quickly realised that he would be a lot older than that now.
Yeah.
So I've kind of I've left that theory behind. But yeah, like and he's basically watching this box, and then over the tannoy, some woman says camera 2 or something, and he basically goes and it looks like he's basically replacing the SD card or something.
Yeah.
And
putting it into like a little security kind of thing.
Yeah.
The box is surrounded by like digital cameras everywhere. Just a really weird scene.
Yeah, it's just like a glass box with like a little pipe at the back. Well, I think
it's an open pipe, open to the elements by the look of it. Just as if like if you could fly, you could fly straight in there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Really weird setup. And this takes place in New York as well, which is weird in itself.
You can see it through the back of the thing.
Yeah. And so this guy just basically has to stay here to watch the glass box. And Lynch really drags this out. He makes this last for like 10-15 minutes at times, I think.
Yeah, because he gets that woman, doesn't he? And she comes and brings him coffee. And she's like, oh, can I come in? Oh, it's top secret.
Yeah. And there was a guard on the door at that point who's like, nobody can go up there.
And then I can only assume it's the next day. I mean, it might not be the next day. It might have been a bit further on. But I can only assume it's the day after. Because she comes back with more coffee. There's no guard. But like he hears her come up the elevator, so he goes out to meet her, and there's no guard there anymore. He basically brings her in.
I got the impression at this point she was up to something like mischievous. I thought she was trying to get into this room. Yeah, but I think I've got the wrong impression with that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Which would lead us on to the penultimate bit of this scene.
Yeah.
Which was quite disturbing, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. They both sit down on the couch. He explains what he's doing, watching this glass box. He doesn't know why he's doing it. He tells her that the person who had the job before him did see something while it's in the box. But they start making out anyway, as you do. They were
making out. She stands up.
Oh yeah, she strips down.
She strips off.
Yeah.
And straight off, like in a room full of cameras, I might add.
That's the point. Yeah.
In a room full of cameras, like
they're straight down to it.
They're just straight down to it, like you say, yeah. And
while that's going on, he can catch a glimpse over his shoulder. The glass box is like filled with just like blackness, kind of thing.
Just complete blackness, and then like you see like a white figure kind of thing.
Yeah, like a very glitchy, flittering about
it's
a
like
white
bouncing
figure.
About, isn't it? A lot.
You can't really make out anything to do with it
until it breaks the box.
Yeah, it smashes through the glass.
And then the last thing you see is basically this thing just slashing at them.
Slashing away. They're both just sat there, can't do anything about it, and they get their entire like face slashed off by the look of it. Well.
We don't want no spoilers for the next episode. We'll let people watch the next one to find out what actually.
It's
happens.
fair to say though they pretty much don't survive.
You can tell by what's happening. That like
by the copious amounts of blood.
There's a lot of blood and there's a lot of slashing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So they're in a bad way, and I think we've pretty much covered everything there that happened in the episode. One more thing. On about Coop in the Black Lodge. He flew down out of the... jumping back to earlier here. This is fine. He flew down out of the Black Lodge straight down.
Oh, yeah,
Am I jumping ahead here? I thought it was in the... Yeah, so it's definitely in this episode, And he lands on top of the glass box outside of the building.
Yeah, he does.
It's really weird. He then merges through the glass box into it. And then he walks inside... And the whole thing starts like telescoping in a weird fashion, like back and forth.
Yeah.
And he just vanishes. And that's right before the other guy brings the girl up and gets attacked by whatever.
You can hear them, can't you?
Yeah, hear them coming, can't you? Yeah, so I think we've pretty much covered the whole episode there.
We have. What were we now? We're about 50 minutes in.
Yeah, it's longer than I thought, to be honest.
And did you want to go into any...
Yeah, I just got a couple of final things to say, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, go.
I don't know how this will work for a TV show, but what would you rate, as a whole, what would you rate these episodes for?
Well,
out of 5.
I'm going to rate the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, yeah.
And for the first 2 out of 5, see, I don't want to be, I don't want to be giving it high rates purely because of like it's not nostalgia for me because I've only just watched the past two ones, but like it's almost like oh wow, I'm back at these characters 25 years. It feels like I was watching them 25 years ago.
That, like,
you know what I mean?
You're literally seeing these characters grow, like at age within,
exactly. And but I'm gonna give these two 4 out of 5.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm literally exactly the same. 4 out of 5 for the 2 episodes as a whole. The reason being, I don't want to whack a 5 on it now because I've got nowhere to go then. If there's a better episode, it's like, what do I do then kind of thing. So going with a nice comfortable 4. I loved it. I really enjoyed it.
No, I did. I absolutely loved it. Yeah. Have you got any theories or anything you want to bring up? Or?
I just want to say before we go on to that, just a couple of things as well. I'm interested to hear from people who love the show but don't like the film that much, what they think of it, because for me, this feels more like the film. To me, it's barely in Twin Peaks, you know what I mean? It jumps around from location to location.
See, I was watching it and I was like, I wonder if like the fans are going to be I mean, we know they've been rated quite highly by these first 2 episodes.
Yeah, like Empire Magazine gave it a 5-star review.
But I'm wondering like if the fans have like, why is he doing this? We want Twin Peaks, and he's giving us he's giving us Buckhorn, he's giving us Las Vegas. I don't know where that comes into it. and he's giving us all these different places. But we want Twin Peaks. What's he doing? But like I say, it's been highly rated.
Yeah.
I'd like you say though. I'd like to hear from people who actually enjoyed the series, enjoyed or maybe not enjoyed the film actually. Sorry, and just see what.
Just to compare how they're feeling about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel I might be totally speaking out of turn here, but I feel that all the Twin Peaks stuff in this episode, Lynch might not have been that interested in it. The stuff with the glass box, you can tell like this is what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Stuff with meeting up with Shelley again, it just feels a bit like I'll put it in there for the fans. They can meet Shelley, they can meet Andy. I enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it, but you can tell where his interest lies. I think.
Yeah.
When he's doing the glass box stuff,
like and that's stretching on for like a good 15 minutes.
He really drags that out. Typical Lynch, like he just drags it out for so long that when you get the payoff at the end, you're like, yeah, that was worth it. Like, that was amazing. So loved it. I thought we'd get more stuff like the glass box coming up, so I think we will do. So
I'm imagining so.
Really enjoyed that. So just to let everyone know, we'll throw. Oh, before we do that, just to let you know, my Twitter handle is @Taylor1980.
Mine's at DSTE Nick.
If you've got. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say you can find the main podcast.
Yeah, just to mention again, we're part of a main podcast called Don't Spoil the Ending. You can find all our links from there, can't you?
Which is DSTE podcast at DSTE podcast.
Yeah. So if you've got any feedback at all, we'd love to hear back from you because we don't know. It's a very rough podcast, but this is our first time doing a 2-man pod. So.
I mean, hopefully it'll be all right, but like any feedback would be amazing.
Yeah, let us know what you think. If you've got any theories, if you think we're talking rubbish, let us know. So just let you know before we move on to the final bit, just a couple of theories to throw out there. So if you don't want any potential spoilers. Not that we'll probably get any of this right. But
I mean, we have already obviously spoiled the first 2 episodes, but any potential theories for the future episodes?
Yeah, you want to hear, tune out now.
Yeah, you might as well go.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Right, if you're still here, then you don't care. Okay, only just a couple of quick theories. I think I told you, I've been listening to the audiobook called The Secret History of Twin Peaks.
This was written by David Lynch's daughter, was it not?
Oh no, sorry, that was another book.
Was it?
I've not read that yet, but I'm down to get into that. That was The Secret. No, not was that The Secret? Yeah, The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer.
All right, okay.
Yeah. So I'm still to read that one yet, but this one is about the history of Twin Peaks going back like 100 years to like the 1800s, and about how like the Native Americans lived on the land first.
This one narrated by.
Loads of Callum McLaughlin actually narrates the book and stuff. Yeah, Mark Frost wrote it, who co-writes the series with David Lynch. But I'm really enjoying it so far. But there's a lot of spoilery stuff in there.
Are you finding it's like relating a lot to the series?
I think it ties in a lot with the show. Do you mind?
No, by all means.
It's basically about the Native Americans who lived on the land before a couple of explorers came along, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, real life explorers who were like American heroes.
Oh, okay.
And he's wrote into the story that they came along, and Meriwether Lewis was given the jade ring by the Native Americans, and then committed suicide, went mad and committed suicide, which he did in real life. He actually did that. But Mark Frost is making out as if the jade ring made him do it. Yeah. So that's where it comes into it, you know, stuff like that. They mention the Black Lodge. Well, not the Black Lodge. There's a Masonic Lodge being built back in the 1800s, which I'm assuming is going to become the Black Lodge, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it gives you a lot of background that could potentially lead into this show. And tying in with this episode, they tell Hawk, what do they tell him again? Your heritage.
Well, the log lady says it, doesn't she? Like something's missing, and it's to do with your heritage.
Your heritage. So it's all to do with, I think, like a Native American kind of feel to it, you know, which has been all over the show, to be honest. Benjamin Horne's Hotel, the Great Northern, has Native American paintings everywhere and stuff like that. So
there is, like, when you think about it, there is a lot of Native American like things
symbolism
around.
And stuff like
symbolism around.
So I think it'll all come back to that, like, you know, some kind of.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and that's a traditional horror kind of trope, you know, the Indian burial ground, that kind of thing. So I think it could go back to that.
I mean, I think you said to me the other day that, like, David Lynch has said, like, everything's there. You just need to figure it out, kind of thing. You know, like, the answer's there for everything.
Yeah.
You just need to figure it out. So, like, it makes sense because that has been there the whole time.
Yeah. Watching these now and seeing stuff makes sense from the film Firewalk with Me. I'm loving it. You know, just seeing all the little bits and bobs that like tie in now with that film.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. It's been great. But as the weeks go on, we'll have more spoilers and stuff. You know, more potential theories coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've got any top theories myself at this point because
no worries. We're only at the first episode.
I don't want to spoil anything because obviously I've watched the third episode. You've obviously watched all four. I don't want to.
Yeah, we're in a weird position, aren't we? We watched episode 3 and 4.
I don't want to try and come up with theories based on what I've seen.
Yeah, no, I agree. In future, it won't be an issue because we'll have caught up by then. But yeah, we're in a weird position at the moment. But yeah, I think that I'm okay with that for now. Are you okay with that?
That's absolutely fine by me. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so that was episode 1 of Twin Peaks. Then the Return.
The Return Part 1.
Part 1. So I hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back next week for a catch up with episode 3, which is part
Return Part 3 because we
episode 2 Part 3. That's it.
We've just done parts 1 and 2. Return Parts 1 and 2, and
episode 1,
which is episode 1, yeah. And then next week we'll be doing episode 2, which is part 3.
Yeah. Typical Lynch. You can't even make the episode title make sense.
Which is like a normal hour-long episode.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm all done with that. You okay with that?
I'm absolutely fine to finish there, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so thanks for listening, and see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.